That's the reason why I am allowing it. It's only closed once you've taken the resolutions. And that's the reason why I'm allowing him. I remember once he's raised the point that yes, he was erroneously put on an item which he asked then to be shifted. And obviously it was not recorded by the table in front here. And that's the reason why I'm allowing them. Councillor Musa, please continue.
Thank you, esteemed Honorable Speaker. I greet one and all with warm greetings of peace, love, blessings upon all. Speaker, I report on the perusal of items 22 and 24. Factually and truthfully, based on my own experience in my constituent, namely Ward 9, Lenasia, it is a well-known fact that Lenasia is the economic hub of the South in Region G. And as a councillor of that ward, that has been neglected for all.
There's a point of order. Councillor Mphahlele.
So, yes, we understand that you are pulling the house, but then we're asking very nicely, Speaker, that after the councillor has spoken, is the MMC going to be allowed an opportunity to respond, or is just going to speak and is never going to be responded? And then, if you could allow such to happen, even us as EFF in the future, when we tell you that no, we were supposed to be speaking or something like that, we are also asking to be allowed. Because if you are never going to be allowed and others are going to be allowed, then they will be around the house. I thank you.
Councillor Mphahlele, just to make it clear. Yes, the MMC will respond, and I think I've allowed it simply because we've not yet taken a resolution. And I'm pleased asking that we allow Councillor Musa to make his point. It was a mistake, and I'm trying to correct that. Councillor Musa, please continue.
Thank you, Speaker. I'm protected. I really appreciate it in the circumstances. I think we, in the spirit of goodwill, I'm also pleading that we only start now with the minutes because of the circumstances that arose where the item for my name was not presented. In any event, Speaker, factually and truthfully, based on my own experience in my constituent, namely Ward 9, Lenasia, it is a well-known fact that Lenasia is the economic hub of the South in Region G. As a councillor of a ward that has been neglected for the longest of times, and as it yesterday with the rains and floods that took place, stormwater drains were flooded yesterday, and the resurfacing of roads is quite evident that is totally neglected. We also don't have metro buses operating in Lenasia or the BRT in Lenasia, which needs an extension. It is a well-known fact, and it is evident that in the whole of Johannesburg, that many of us will also agree that we will be doing grave injustice and failing in our duties if we do not place on record to Council's attention that clearly JRA has failed us in terms of performance levels and effective service delivery. Social media is crazy and taking advantage of our roads department's underperformance. It will be highly appreciated moving forward for the residents to regain trust, to kindly seriously improve service delivery, to avoid a frustrated backlash from residents of Johannesburg. To me, as a resident councillor, the process of council should be such that the politics of the house should not impact on our beloved residents that are priority for service delivery. I call upon, let's make the work roll, let's make our city proud, let's make our transport and roads safe, and let's revive the economic hub of Johannesburg and Lenasia. Please, let's work together and take advantage of a golden opportunity to improve Johannesburg. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Musa. MMC Ngobeni.
No, thank you very much, Speaker, once again. Yeah, I won't comment on the process. You know my view. I always say you need to be consistent. But it is your prerogative as well, and we want to respect it. But yeah, I've noted the comments from Councillor Musa, and like I said, they are across the city. And it's very important that we acknowledge them and go and deal with those issues, because they are live experience of our people, live experience of our councillors. We can't spin them. They are there. Those challenges need to be attended to, and we are committed to that task. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you, MMC. Councillor Alexander, just to close the item.
Thank you very much, Speaker. I'd like to thank the committee for getting on the ground and working so super quickly. We had very little time after our membership was approved, and the committee got straight down to work, and I thank you for your commitment to that. I'd also like to thank the support staff that make all this possible for us in the background, and to recognize Councillor Makuba for her role in the Transport Department in the past. I hereby ask the Council to adopt the recommendation and note the reports. The recommendations are on page 22.2, 23.11, 24.6 and 36.12. Thank you very much.
Councillors, is the item agreed to? Thank you.
We are now on item 25, which is performance assessment report for the Office of the City Manager for the 2021-22 financial year for the period October to December 2021.
Councillor Whistler.
Speaker,
Sorry, Councillor Whistler, there's
the
a hand
MMC
up.
will speak to
Thank
first,
you.
please.
MMC.
Thank you, Speaker. We'd like to withdraw this item. Thank you.
Thank you, MMC. Councillors, item 25 is withdrawn by request from the MMC. Thanks.
Item 26, that is the performance assessment report for the City of Johannesburg Legislature Department for the 2021-22 financial year for the period October to December 2021, and read with item 37, which is an oversight report of OCOL on the 2021-22 second quarter budget and performance assessment report of the Legislature of the City of Johannesburg for the period October to December 2021.
Chairperson Rafferty.
Thank you, Speaker. May I also just make a humble request, because I saw that the two items were split, the Ombudsman's report as well as this one. But I also picked up that there's different councillors speaking, so I didn't bring it to your attention, just to allow that we don't have fights in terms of time allocation per councillor. So in future, can we just combine all the reports for OCO? Thanks. I hereby rise to table the second quarterly report for the OCO committee. The department has done well in terms of the KPIs as set out. There were 21 KPIs, and only 3 were not relevant for this particular quarter. However, the CAPEX expenditure within this department, and it's based on what I spoke about earlier and what councillors are mentioning, if you come in here, it gives you an indication that we're not where we're supposed to be in terms of repairs and maintenance in this department. Second to that is the issue around councillors' offices. There are various ward councillors' offices that are not repaired accordingly, and ultimately it will compromise the service delivery that we all deem important to residents of the city of Johannesburg. Most importantly out of the report, and very worrying, is that there's still a lot of councillors that are not adhering to the councillors' code of conduct. Specifically, Systems Act 12A, outstanding municipal bills for longer than 90 days. There's still a lot of councillors in arrears, and we need to correct that, because what message are we sending to our residents out there if we, as public regs, do not do what we are supposed to be doing? So with that, I'd like to table the two reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Refti. Councillor Baloy.
Thank you very much, Speaker. And I will salute and say revolutionary greetings to the EFF Chair of the Caucus and our Chief Whip of the only fast-growing continental organization. No doubt about it. I'm definitely confident about it. On behalf of the EFF, we note this report with hope of improvement to come in future. Let me say this, Speaker. Corruption is a disease, deadly disease. So is poor governance. We stand here and speak of good governance. I still live to see that happening. And I just want to take you through one thing. We've got a medication for corruption, for poor governance, which is the 7 cardinal pillars. And it states clearly that there must be an open and accountable corruption-free government and society without fear of victimization by the State Defense Force, police, and other agencies. Speaker, this cardinal pillar is a very important, and everyone should use it, regardless of the political affiliation. However, we have seen the deployment of police in this council with the sole purpose of victimizing councillors from the opposition benches. The report speaks about legislature department's successful start. However, the Speaker forgot to wear his impartiality hat, particularly during the election of Section 79 chairperson, where he made a ruling that could not be backed up with any legislation. I'm sure you can still remember that. This can't be a successful start. Regardless, just pardon 2 minutes for me. Regarding capacity building, 3 months or more down the line, the legislature department has not yet released a year planner for the capacity building of councillors. The election of ward committee members has been postponed indefinitely, although you mentioned something previously. Speaker, Speaker, you should be ashamed of presenting this report. The evidence we have so far is that council legislature is failing. Only questionable 8 KPIs out of 21 have been achieved. This is shameful and shows incompetency by the head of the legislature. We note the expenditure on repairs and maintenance, and we have seen that the office of the Chief Whip has been refurbished.
Your time's up, Councillor. Your time is up.
Has been refurbished and
up. Your time is up. Thank you. Councillor Ngwepe. Councillor
Greetings,
Moonsi.
Speaker.
Sorry. Yeah, it's you.
Greetings, Speaker. Greetings to the ANC caucus. Greetings to Executive Mayor and all the councillors and the guests. Speaker, I rise to note and to comment on the performance assessment report for the City of Johannesburg Legislature Department for 2021 to 2022. Financial year period October 2021, December 2021. In the period under review, the ANC note the role played by the legislature managing the transition from 2016 to 2021 in political terms, which yielded plans for smooth transition. The ANC also note and welcome the awarding of long service certificate to councillors and holding a farewell function to the outgoing ward committees as an appreciation for a service rendered to the City of Johannesburg residents. In the same token, I must register that as the ANC, we are disappointed which regards to the ward committee postponement. We feel that this is done deliberately to frustrate the councillors, as we all know that councillors are the support system when it comes to councillor service delivery. And now we hope the new set dates, it won't be changed to further frustrate councillors and service delivery. Speaker, the ANC note the 3 KPIs that still need to be reported to the 3rd quarter, 4th quarter of the year. And we welcome the 7th KPI that were achieved in the quarter under review. Speaker, as I sit down, let me close by saying the ANC also note the oversight reports from all departments and entities on 2nd quarter. I thank you.
Chair of Chairs.
Thank you, Speaker, and greetings once again to all the councillors. And thank you for the comments and the concerns that have been raised by the councillor from the EFF. We have noted your responses on our quarterly report, and also from the ANC, although the ward committees are not relevant for this quarter, but thank you for your comments. We will consolidate everything. Once again, the committee chair, thank you for your effective oversight to you and your committee members. We commend your good work and please keep it up. Thank you, Speaker.
Chairperson, Councillor Rafferty.
Thanks once again, Speaker. Let me just commend once again the team, Section 79 committee. And I know we've started on the right track and we will leave no stone unturned. Just a caution of something that happened during lunch that is also maybe part and parcel of what we're dealing with here. Doesn't mean that we are councillors, we can disrespect ordinary staff members as we wish to. Cannot be condoned, can never be correct. So let that be a message to all of us. There are also people. Having noted all the observations and input by colleagues, I hereby ask council to approve.
Chair.
Councillor Rafferty, there's a point of order.
Yes.
Councillor?
Can that man there?
No, Councillor.
Oh, okay. Can that councillor there kindly clarify this council? What is he referring to? He must not mimic, he must tell us what is he referring to. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Please switch off your mic. Councillor Rafferty.
Thank you very much. I think that's a caution to all of us. If that thought crosses your mind, please, just as much as we want us ourselves as councillors to be respected, let's respect all the officials within the city of Johannesburg.
And women. You are speaking in parables, Councillor.
You see, Speaker, sometimes people, they are fascinated about social media. You see? So, in essence, don't believe everything you read. So, that being said, topic for another day. I hereby ask council to approve the second court report of the legislature and also the oversight. Leave the name, it's not part of the report, it was a comment. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, councillors. The recommendations are on pages 26.6 and 27.9. Are the items agreed to? Thank you.
Councillors, we are on item 39, and that is the IDP, budget and tariffs, 2022 regional summits, consultation sessions. And item 14, the tabling of the City of Johannesburg's draft electricity bylaw for public consultation, public participation. And also item 41, which is amendment and review of the City of Johannesburg's water services bylaw. And also item 42, which is a draft integrated development plan and draft 2022-23 municipal entities, the business plan for the City of Johannesburg for public consultation. Item 43, tabling of the 2022-23 to 2024-25 medium-term operating budget and related documentation. Item 44, the tabling of the 2022-23 to 2024-25 medium-term capital budget. Item 25, amendment of the tariff charges for water services and sewage and sanitation services for 2022-23. Item 46, it's the request for the approval of the proposed waste management services tariffs for 2022-23 midterm, MTEF. And also the item 47, which is the amendment of the tariff of charges for the 2022-23 financial year, which would be the land development applications, building plans applications, the National Building Regulations and Building Standards Act, the telecommunication mast and radio mast in respect of the National Building Regulations and Building Standards Act and policies, and miscellaneous fees. Advertising signs in terms of the City of Johannesburg outdoor advertising bylaws, the issuing of the certificates, and the supply of the information by the corporate GEO information department, the supply of information related to the municipal planning tribunal. Item 48, the amendment of the tariffs charged in respect of rentals and charges for council-owned residential stock administered by the Housing Department for the 2023 financial year. And also item 49, which is the amendment of the tariff charges for emergency management services for 2022-23. And item 50, which is amendment of the tariffs of charges in respect of the miscellaneous traffic-related services for 2022-23. And item 51, which is Johannesburg Roads Agency management of tariff charges for 2022-23. Item 52, it is amendment of the tariffs of charges for the cemeteries and the ceremonial parks, open space, nature reserves, and zoo for 2022-23. And also item 53, proposed amendment of the tariffs of charges for the issuing of certificates and furnishing of information, evaluation services for 2022-23. Item 54, the amendment of tariffs of charges for the issuing of certificates and furnishing of information by the COJ Legislature. Also item 55, which is the amendment of tariff charges for the issuing of clearance figures for 2022-23. Item 56, amendment of tariff charges, dishonored or electronic payments, which is for 2022-23. And also item 57, amendment of tariff charges for the delivery of pre-termination notices 2022-23. And item 58, with the amendment of tariffs for the delivery of the final notices for 2022-23 and 2020. Also item 59, amendments of the tariffs of charges for 2022-23. That's library and information services, arts and culture and heritage services, sports facilities, recreation centers, and swimming pools. And item 60, request for approval of the draft tariffs of charges, miscellaneous services fees, and surcharges for electricity services. That is also for financial year 2022-23. Item 61, which is amendment of passengers fare structure of Metropolitan Bus Services Limited for the period of 1st July to 30th July 2023. And also the item 62 is the amendment of tariffs fare charges for Ria Vaya BRT for the period of 1st July 2022 to the 30th of June 2023. And also item 63, which is Joshua tariff proposal for the 2022-23 financial year. Item 64, which is amendment of tariffs of charges for environmental health services. Item 65 is the draft 2022-23 property rates policy and rates bylaw. Item 66 is the draft termination of property rates service for tabling for 2022 and 2023. Item 67, those are changes in membership of various Section 79 committees. Item 68 is the commencement of the recruitment and selection process for the position of the Chief Operating Officer. Sorry. Excuse me, those we dealt with yesterday, sorry. Oh.
Thank you, councillors. It ends with 66. Councillor Mpatlele.
Thanks, Speaker. We noticed that you are clustering these items because they are for noting, and we are requesting as EFF that we've got 4 minutes to properly note per speaker. So we are here as EFF to work. Yes, we are not here to play or anything. So our presentations of noting those items, they will be heard and they will be recorded. So each and every speaker allocated there, can they be allocated there 4 minutes each? I thank you.
Councillors, the items are all obviously for noting, for publication, and obviously for inputs from councillors. communities, and for the IDP inputs that our communities are going to do through the 8 regions. If you insist that you want to give your inputs here, councillors, I've got the whole day. We can sit here until 11 o'clock. If that's your insistence, I'm not going to deny you that. But this is just for noting. It's tabling for discussions. You've got a whole month to give inputs, councillors. And because you've got your names on the speakers list, we will give you that right. Councillor Sithole.
Thank you, Speaker. Ngilotshise futhi. Speaker, ukubeke kwacaca ukuthi lesi saziso lama point okanye lamaphuzu wavezileko ngiyokusaziso kuba sizilungiselele ukuthi in the next sitting sizokwazi ukungena phezulu kwayo. Nje nangabe siyogadanga phezulu kwayo njengana ngibona kwangathi kumora sesikhathi abafuna ukuhlala baza kuhlala. Wena ke thina osifuna ukukhamba ngoba sikhathele sibereke ubusuku bonke izolo uzosikhulula sikhambe Speaker ngoba asinohlala sihlala abantu abanganamakhaya ekubeni thina imikhukhu yethu
wena Bushiri, speak for yourself.
Thokoze Speaker, sithokoze.
What kind of an animal are you?
Councillor Sithole.
Yeah, ne?
Councillor, please, Sithole. Councillor Sithole, you are out of order.
Attention,
Please retract that. No, stand up, Councillor Sithole. Thank you. Please retract that.
I withdraw.
Thank you. Councillors, I'm going to give you councillors, I'm going to give you the opportunity to go through it and obviously raise the issues that you want to raise. But councillors, I have pleaded, you still want to contribute, and what it is going to be will obviously depend on you. You have been listed on different items here, starting from 39. Councillor.
Thank you, Speaker. I think it must be noted, Speaker. On the first time when some of us started here, you said you've got 26 years of being in this house. 1. 2, as new in this house, please do not set a wrong precedence. When we are giving items to argue it out, please do not do shortcuts. Because now, if you're going to allow others to leave for whatever purpose, you are setting wrong precedents. Thank you.
I'm not going to, I didn't make that decision. You heard it from another councillor. Councillor, please, so don't put blame on me for what councillors say in the House. Councillor Stewart, you're the last one on this issue.
Thank you, Speaker. Can the DA please request a 10-minute caucus break?
Thank you, Councillor Stewart. I will allow that.